Okay, Karen, the next thing I have here, I'm laughing because I think we're going to go on a rant here. The next thing I have is we're introduced basically to Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and essentially he's meeting with the government, and the one good thing that I did like about Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is the fact that he makes it clear that what he's after planetary security. He says to June Finch, who I believe that's Senator's name, played by Holly
Hunter.
Hunter, he says to her, we're not talking about national security, we're talking about planetary security.
Hmm.
And I wish they would have played that up more with Lex, because as the movie progresses, we see that Lex is basically just crazy. And I wish they would have had him more as a calculating person who is essentially just different, coming from a different spectrum than Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne also wants to protect humanity, but so does Lex. It's just that Lex, instead of just protecting humanity, wants to protect him so he can rule them. I kind of thought that we might get that kind of Lex Luthor.
Yeah, this Lex Luthor, for those of you who have seen Jesse Eisenberg's other movies, he did Rio, which was a animated film, and when I saw him, that's what I thought of the character from Rio.
That's not good.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh man, he's trying to be a little. Okay, we know he's trying to bring a new Lex Luthor. Okay, we get that, but it just came over to me like he was just trying too hard. I even think, or do you think he wasn't trying at all?
Yeah, Jesse, such a talented actor, and I just think that I don't know if it was him or Zach or whoever, but I think he's trying to channel too much of the Lex Luthors that have come in the past, specifically Gene Hackman, and that's not the Lex Luthor we need right now. We need a Lex
Mm,
Luthor that is more in control, more tech related, more of a kind of a twisted Tony Stark. I know that I've been bringing up that character a lot recently, but there's a reason, because it's a well written character, and we live in a tech driven world. And I just didn't see any tech
right?
from LexCorp, and they made this big promotion. I championed it at the time about Lex OS and all those other things and
Mm,
stuff like that. That did not come up in the movie at
at
all.
all.
And at the end of the day, they you assume Lex is smart, but they don't really kind of show us how. And I think in today's world, today's tech-driven world, that would have been fun. The most technical skills we saw from Lex Luthor was when he made a jump shot.
Right, right,
What's up
right.
with that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I know that wig that they put on him, oh, bad wig, because, you know, it didn't bother me at first, but later on, I was just like, wow, out of all the wigs or hairstyles before he becomes bald, that's the piece that they go with. That just kind of got under my skin. So, not just, his acting, but the physical part of him as well. And now that he's going to be in prison, okay, we'll see. Maybe he'll get built, which is the Lex Luthor that we know. Okay, but with his acting, I just did not buy him as Lex. And when he kind of got like too hyper for me at times too for his role.
Yeah, they're trying to make him seem creepy, and he was creepy, but not in a good way. Creepy like in an annoying way.
Yeah.
And he always has to have some kind of soliloquy or monologue or something that just didn't make any sense. I know when he's giving like a speech, when he invites all those people to his house for some kind of party or
Oh
social
yeah.
event,
Whoa.
he's like, "Oh, speech, drink, drink," and Apollo and the God of Thunder hurling thunderbolts and blah blah. I don't. Sometimes I guess on paper, a character like that could complement the themes that you're trying to put into place in the movie. God versus man and things like that, which is one of the themes that was running through the movie, along with several other ones that made it a big, mishmash of things and didn't flow very well. So I'm just gonna say this since we're talking about it. I really think this movie would have benefited from having a strong Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Not just presence wise, because Jesse's is a great actor, but his presence was missing in this movie, and I guess it's because of the character he was playing. But if we had somebody else who could have held that character down better, the movie would have been better. Because for the most part, Lex Luthor is the main villain. He is the one kind of
Right.
controlling everything. He's the one that's amping up Bruce Wayne, sending him things like "they killed your family," "I'm your ghost," "I haunt you," all those kinds of things, which I thought would be from the Joker when I saw the trailer, or something along those lines. But it's from Lex, and Lex is also manipulating things, blowing up the Capitol
Oh,
building,
man.
doing all kinds of sort of things. I just couldn't buy it from the scrawny kid with, like you said, the bad wig and the silly sayings. I just couldn't buy it, and it really he couldn't hold his side of the movie down. That character,
He
where
he doesn't look like a billionaire too.
right, he looks like some spoiled kid who isn't a mastermind. I think the movie would have benefited from somebody with a bigger presence, even if it was just physically. Somebody, I've said this from day one, somebody like The Rock, who is just more ruthless and can come across that way. Jesse doesn't come across that way at all. He doesn't even come across as this mastermind either, even though he is
Mm-hmm.
in the movie. He doesn't come across that way. And he come across as this little kid running around trying to do I don't even know what. And as opposed to somebody like The Rock standing there talking about planetary defense and how he knows the right thing to do and everybody should listen to him because he knows better. I think that would have done the movie a lot more good.
I will say the one thing I did like about Jesse's interpretation of Lex Luthor was when he started talking about his dad, in the film when he was by the painting and he was talking to Holly Hunter's character and talking about how his dad was from Germany. I said, okay, that was good. We got more
Background.
background into Lex's family. So I was like, okay, because when you think about it, we really don't know too much about Lex's.
Right, through the marketing and obviously this
Mm-hmm.
movie we've learned more about Alexander Luthor instead
Right.
of Lex Luthor. But other than that, man, they really need to fix that character. And I hope you're right. I hope he does, keep the bald head and bulks up a little bit. But that's not Jesse's look, and that's the problem. That's not his look. I mean, can you
Exactly.
picture Jesse Eisenberg with 10 more pounds of muscle? I really can't.
No, I can't. Yeah.
I don't think that's his scoop. I don't think that's his deal. And they should have thought of that when they cast an actor who's going to have to be more physically involved in future films.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Or, I mean, some people are already saying maybe they should just recast the role, or. So then
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yeah, and I'm a Jesse Eisenberg fan. I just don't think this is his role. And I had a totally different vision for him, which didn't play out. And I would say right now, you need a stronger Lex Luthor to tie things down because it hurt the movie.
Yeah, it really did.
So if you have to recast, and it will just, if you do a good recast, it will benefit the movie and the franchises and the DC movie universe as a whole going forward.